Mama, at what age did you realize that? Uh, when did you realize sexuality? At what age?
Probably age 16.
Mm.
I would say 16. From that point on, at 16, you enter high school, and the whole dynamic and environment is totally different from middle school and elementary school. So I think that's the years that I started to wonder and ask questions and being a part of, I suppose, the sexual revolution. So
Mm.
I say age 16.
Yeah. You said sexual revolution.
Well, it was a sexual revolution when I was 16 years old. It was the 60s.
Mm.
So, of course, our parents didn't really talk about sexuality in the home. We saw a lot. We saw a lot in church. Now I'm starting to see the realization of boys and girls together and sexual education in the schools and talking about sex um, and so I was when I was 16, it was 1967. Yeah.
Mm.
So
Wow.
those are the years that I became aware of, attraction to boys and things like that. So
Mm.
I would say age 16, 1960.
Wow.
Um,
And,
seven.
and when did you realize when the sexuality was not what it appeared to be? When did you realize there was a dysfunction?
In sexuality, well, there was always a dysfunction in the church because
Mm.
we were told in the church as we grew up, most of the choir directors, the good singers, the good ensembles, they were all gay men.
Mm.
But
Right.
no one ever explained to me what that meant.
Right.
I thought, and this is funny when I think back, I thought a gay man was men that like to dress up like girls. Or even if they didn't dress up like girls, I knew they were gay the way they switched around the church and, how they did their hair and how they reacted with each other with their hands dripping and dropping. So in my mind, okay, those are gay men. The gay men like hanging around each other. And that's as far as my pure little mind went.
Mm. Yeah. When I looked at some old movies, they would use the word gay because the old English movies they say, hey, you're gay today.
It made
You know?
happy. It made
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah. So if you look up the word gay, it means happy. So throughout the years, this terminology was changed. You know, but yeah, I guess the question I was asking is when did you realize that the gender role was not exactly what was presented, at home or in society, you know?
Age 16.
At 16, yeah. All right.
Age 16, because I had a gay brother that
Mm,
was not in the home, but
mm,
when he returned to the home, he was dressed like a girl. He explained to me that I'm dressed like a girl because I like men and men like me dressed. So he explained the whole thing to me. And that's when I began to understand, taking my mind out of the traditional relationship as of a man and a woman. Now I'm starting to get to understand that men actually go with each other like they would go with a woman.
mm.
And women went with each other like they would go with a man. So those was the what do you call it? The shock of what's going on here and why is this? And I still don't understand. I still did not understand how it could be possible.
Yeah, because because it was being done in secret, you know? It
Yeah.
was it was
Everyone was in the closet.
yeah, we were, you suspected, when I was growing up in school, you suspected when a kid behaved a certain way, or there were two boys that always hung out together, and they really hung out together, like they didn't hang out with any other people. They just like they were always together, and you didn't see either boy with a girl. They didn't play with the girls. They always just played together. Which was
Yeah.
pretty,
Yeah.
and then you start to say, even though you may not have known the term, we'll use terms like, sissy,
Yeah.
the F
hmm
word,
hmm
but yeah, it was.
You mean the F word? You mean the F word as what my dad would always say, and it hurt my feelings when he would say it. Oh, he's nothing but a faggot, and I didn't understand what that word meant.
Right, right,
And
that's
my dad being born in 1910, he was very appalled
mm,
and angry
mm,
at the transition of society.
yeah.
They used to call women bull dykes. Well,
Well,
I did not know what a bull dyke was.
I never even heard of it. So I've heard of dyke, but I've never heard of a bull dyke.
So
So,
the dyke is short for bull dyke.
like a bulldog, but bull dyke.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm,
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. So
Int-
these are you're talking about old school Black America,
mm.
the straight laced Black America that saw a woman, married the woman, and had children. Now, in the 70s, this started to creep into our society, and the homosexuals started to come out of the closet, as they love to exclaim.
So hold on one second,
That they
Mama. Hold on one second, Mama. Welcome, family. Welcome, family. Welcome. This is your brother Silverback KONGO. And
and Mother Bantu, how's everyone? I'm here in Kenya. It's a beautiful day in Kenya, and welcome.
welcome, family. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. As you may have seen already, today we are talking about the gay agenda and who does it hurt. Okay? Who does it hurt? So, Mama, I don't want you to lose your train of thought. So you were talking about back in the day, they used to say, um, they would call bull what?
Bull dyke.
Bull dyke. Wow. So what they were combining the bulldog with with the women.
I suppose I listen. I'm a child. I'm hearing this.
For the first time.
No one gives you an explanation or goes to the dictionary to tell you what the word meant
Uh-huh.
or explain anything to you. You just heard these words growing up. And I
Yeah.
grew up in Philadelphia. So I grew up with straight-laced parents.
Wow.
So the word that was thrown around was usually thrown around in anger.
So it wasn't. Yeah, you didn't understand why he would be upset, right? You didn't understand.
Yes, I didn't
Yeah.
understand why upset because he would call maybe a neighbor or a family member a name, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking in my mind, I wonder what that means. So
Mm.
I asked my father one day, "What does it mean?" He goes, "She likes girls," and I
Mm.
thought, "Oh, okay."
Uh,
No, he didn't say she likes girls. She lays up with girls. That's what he said.
she lays up.
And she lays up with girls, or he lays up with boys. And
Mm.
that's not something we do. That's not something we do in our culture, he said.
That's right. That's right, family. When he says our culture, he's talking about our spirituality. Okay, family. Everything that a Muntu does, it equates to their spirituality, because what it means is that we are a righteous people. We are a divine being. We are righteous, holy children of Tatanzambe. Okay, so that's what he meant. We just say it's culture, but no. It means we are different from everybody else. Everybody else participate in that nonsense. We don't. But I'm curious, Mama. I'm curious about some of the words that were used, because you hit me with a new one. Bull dyke. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, were there any other word that that they don't use any longer, that they were using back then?
Well, back then, faggot was a known name on the streets, whether you were gay or not. It was a derogatory statement that boys would call each other.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, sissy, queer, sissy, queer. Some of the words that I can think about right off the top of my head, but we knew as children growing up, because we had quite a few children in the house. There was 11 of us, but we always had, cousins over, because cousins was treated like your brothers and sisters. So we would hear the adults talking this conversation of this new wave that was coming into our community. And I could tell that my parents was very upset with the blatantness of it all.
Yeah, because it was going to disrupt the foundation. Baba Mungu did not want his children to go and mingle with other nations.
That's it.
Right? Baba Mungu knew that when his children went and mingled with the other nations, they would corrupt his children. So he would say, no, you should not go. He says, get away from those people, from those nations. All right? You are a holy children of Baba Mungu. So as we go,
set apart.
Set apart. We are set apart. Okay, family. If it didn't register when the children of Shaitani sent 2 Negroes to the continent, okay? They sent one Negro who was a former president, as you saw his picture in the thumbnail, if you didn't see it, okay? And then they sent another Negro who's currently a vice president to try to persuade the children of Tatanzambe. And guess what? They all said, nah, we don't think so. Okay? Don't come to us with these degenerate behaviors. We don't accept those. Okay, family? So let me give a reminder to these Christian churches that have been deceiving people for many centuries. There's going to come a time, okay? We're not going to be believing. I'm going to pray. No, it's going to be physical and spiritual, okay? Because the way we fight with demons, we go to the Father and we ask for our divinity to be displayed in this world. And when it's displayed, we don't play nice. Okay? So, yeah, Mama. So, some of these, again, your father was truly, his spirit was disturbed. He was not happy with that.
Yes.
He wasn't happy what he was seeing. Okay? So in our society today,
and plus he had children to raise.
Of course.
And he was trying to raise his sons and daughters in the way of Baba Mungu.
Yes.
Even though he was not taught the name of the Creator, he knew innately that right is right and wrong is wrong.
Yes.
And but today, our society forces us to feel guilty because of what we feel inside when we know something's not right. They have shut us up in a way where we don't protest. Some
Yeah.
of us don't.
Yeah.
But we just say, well, you have to be politically correct. Everybody loves somebody. Everybody can love who they want. So they have dummied us down to stand up for righteousness,
Mm-hmm.
actually, because it was him that said a man laying with a man and a woman laying with a woman is an abomination to him. We didn't say that.
Exactly.
He said that,
Exactly.
giving the bylaws, the rules, and the order of the earth and of a nation. So he taught us that this kind of behavior was not only offensive to him, but it was an abomination.
Mm-hmm.
So when we feel something, even as children, that doesn't sit right, my father knew that this didn't sit right. Back then, they spoke up. Right now, they dummy down, they quiet.
Yes.
Let people live their lives. You live your life, and I live your life. No, who's standing up for righteousness?
Yes. Yeah. Well, they can live their life. They were on another planet, but the planet that we inhabit is a planet of our Father, and on this planet, the Father has specific rules on how we should live on this planet. We break those rules, there's a disruption. Okay? There's a disruption with nature. So you notice they
Absolutely.
you notice they're talking about the weather. They have this agenda with weather as well, where they're pretending as if they are trying to bring balance to the climate. Okay, they're pretending, right? The disruptor of Mother Nature comes back and say, "Oh yeah, we have an imbalance." The one who the perpetrator comes around back and tries to pretend as if they are trying to provide a solution. Come on, man. What kind of world we live in? But anyway, Mama, at what point did you realize that there was an agenda? These activities, these type of sexuality, these lifestyles. When did you realize? Because I'm going to be honest with you, Mama. I know a lot of gay men, a lot of gay women. Some of them I've considered them friends. Okay, I have friends and friends and friends. So when you live in New York City, if you grew up in New York City, now but you are in Babylon. Every other person you know is either in the closet or is outright straight, as they would say, straight up homosexual, okay, or LBGT. I mean, I can't even say the words, Mama. Okay, I don't even know how to say.
I don't even try to say the acronym because I can't say it. I can't remember the letters, how to put the letters again. So I just say A B C D G P U. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
But you made a valid point. Baba Munga has given us rules, but they go beyond rules. Those are laws that's set. And he will not go against his law. You and I always talk about the laws cannot be changed. Gravity cannot be changed. What goes up must come down. So you can go up on the mountaintop without a parachute and jump. The people in 9/11, they were jumping from the buildings, the burning buildings. They were jumping so many stories high, they were jumping, but gravity could not catch them. It's a law of the land. It's a law of the universe. So Baba Mungo has set laws on the earth that he will not intercept those laws. When he said that a man is not supposed to lay with a man and a woman is not supposed to lay with another woman, it's for reproduction. We are supposed to not only live by his live by his law, but he put man and woman on the earth, what? To replenish the earth. So a man cannot abide by that law. Two women together cannot abide by that law. That's why it's an abomination to him, because it's about family and children.
Right. So Mama, I'm gonna play the devil's advocate. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah, I did. Of course.
That is a very, very, very powerful movie, family. Okay?
Yes.
It's a very, very powerful movie. And then one day I'm gonna do a review. Okay, I'm gonna do a review on that movie. Very, very, very powerful. Very powerful. So if you have not seen the movie The Devil's Advocate with Al Pacino, go right ahead, family. Check out that movie. Very powerful.
Yeah.
Very, very
I think
powerful.
it's on YouTube and it's in Netflix.
Yeah.
So I just want everyone to know I'm in Kenya and my son is in New Jersey. So sometime when he asks me a question, there's a time delay. And I'm answering the question, but it's not going through.
Right. Thank you, Mama.
So forgive me for that technical difficulty.
Yeah.
But we are on different continents, so we're doing the best that we can to keep up with each other, so that it can be a smooth transition and that you can enjoy the Narrowcast.
Oh, beautiful, Mama. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's very, very true, family. Very, very true. When we get into a very, very delicious conversation, the enemy wants to disrupt what we're doing. They want to disturb.
Absolutely.
They want to disturb our meal.
Yes, that's him.
So, Mama, at what point did you realize that there was an agenda at play in society? Because
yes, I have a question. I mean, I have an answer.
Right,
because it became more accepting. I had a lot of gay friends because they're funny people. They're funny. I have fun with them because they want to be me.
Right.
They want to borrow my bracelet. And, that's really nice polish you have. And so I have a lot of gay friends because my brother was gay, and but the more and more that it became exposed in our society, and more movie stars and celebrities came out of the closet, so to speak. Now, my opinion no longer mattered. If I said something at work, like, I don't believe in that. Oh, you're homophilic. What's the matter with you? You got to stop judging people, leave people alone. So I thought to myself, well, listen, you cannot force me to believe what you believe. I believe what I believe. Let me believe what I believe. Nope. You will not believe what you believe. You will believe what everyone believes.
Right.
So that's when I started to notice, okay, there's a war, a gender war, not a gender war, a gender war.
Right. Now, family, I know some gay people who are very, very nice. Okay?
Very nice.
They are very, very nice. There is an agenda because, you see, these are people that they've helped me in my life. Okay? These are nice, genuine people. However, there is an agenda because they're not the ones who are pushing it. Their lifestyle is being promoted.
Yes, that's it.
Okay?
That's it.
Their lifestyle is being promoted by real demons, real demonic, a demonic force. Okay? Some of these gay people, you would never know that they are they are living homosexual lifestyles. Okay? So now this is an issue that they're gonna have to put up that they're gonna have to answer to the Father. I have sat with many gay people, many lesbians, many transvestites. Okay? And every time we have a deeper conversation, you come to realize there was a violation done unto them. Okay? And this violation is like, let me give you an example. It's like when you watch these vampire movies, right? It's like everybody's running away from the vampire. Once the vampire bites you, you transform. You take on that vampire, right? You take on that spirit. Okay? But if you ask the vampire, you ask the vampire, if you see in the movies, the vampires initially they're normal until it's late in nighttime, right? Till it's late at nighttime when they transform. That spirit takes on that they transform into the vampire. I don't even know how to say it. Right? So it's the same thing with homosexuality. Because homosexuality is rampant in the Black community.
Wow, as never before.
Yes, it is rampant in the Black community. And everybody has somebody in the family that is, quote unquote, come out. But understand something, that the designer, okay, the mastermind, the corporate, these are the people who understand the behaviors of our people because they did it to our people during slavery. Okay? Most of our people were turned out during slavery. And throughout generation, you will hear these stories. Uncle did this to this, violated this nephew. Uncle did this. Aunt did this. Mother did this to son. This and that and that and that. These violations, these sexual violations were done. These were done to our people. Then you have the same perpetrator who did it to our people, and they did it in public. Okay, when they call it backbreaking, they have farms. Okay, these plantations. Okay, they have seasons when they were doing this to our people. Okay? This is the shame we don't want to talk about. But they understand, they know that our minds, because when we came out of slavery, none of our people went to quote unquote to see a psychiatrist, to see how to remove these wicked spirits that continue to oppress our people. These are the shameful things that Paul said he cannot speak of. Okay?
That's right. That's right. That's so true. And you know, we've never as a culture been healed from certain things, like you say.
No.
You know, we've never been healed. We were taught. I think it was a mechanism of survival, to forget about it, to stuff it, don't talk about it.
Yes. And family, I tell you, this sin runs deeper than just a homosexual lifestyle. Okay? Because we've got women who are out of order, who use, as you would say, mama, they use the abortion clinic as what? What do you call it again?
Control.
A birth control.
Birth control.
You see? We're not those type of people. This was imposed upon our people. And once you are infected with this type of lifestyle, because it's a lifestyle. Because let's not get it twisted. Sex is appropriate and is holy between a wife and a husband, right?
Yes,
The
absolutely.
the father allow us to procreate. Okay, we are it is holy when it's done the way the father designed it for us to utilize it.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, it wasn't. Listen, somewhere down the line, it became something pleasurable, but it was used exclusively to procreate, to continue replenishing the earth, as Mama said earlier. Okay, and then man's lust combined by, if you look in the scripture very carefully, it says the sons of men, which were angels, who saw that the daughter of man, which was Baba Mungu's children here on earth, they start using what? They found that it was good for them to what? To start to enjoy the woman. Those spirits came to enjoy the woman. That's the difference.
Yes.
Okay? They came to do the nasty. I don't know how to say it, Mama. They came to do the nasty. Okay?
They came to make love.
Yeah. All right? So we were just innocent beings reproducing, but when those spirits came, they brought nasty knowledge. Nasty knowledge. The knowledge that Paul says he can't even repeat it.
They brought the filth and the abomination.
Yes. It was nasty. Okay? And they start to defile Baba Mungu's children. They brought chaos, disorder, lawlessness. So, yes, Mama, on this planet, on this earth, we have the children of Shaitani, and trust me, they come in old shades. The original children of Shaitani were black. They were melanated. Okay? So, Mama, so when you realize that there was, when you realize what were some of the challenges, like from inception, because through the sexual revolution, right? This was what, the 70s, 60s, 70s?
Yeah, in the
right?
70s, yes.
Sexual revolution. What did you see?
And by the early 70s, I was married.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I had my first son in 1970, so I was a young woman,
Mm-hmm.
Seeing more and more homosexual men, because the women were still in the closet for a long time.
Mm.
But I started to see more and more homosexual men on the job, at the grocery store, more and more in our community. And everyone knew they were gay. It's just they were flamboyant. They dressed sometimes better than I did. And so this is when they really start to come and, I say, hid themselves in our community. And we befriended them. They're funny. They're fun. We knew that they liked boys, and there was no problem with us, And so in the 70s, you saw more and more in the community, but you also saw more and more on television, because, Rock Hudson was homosexual, but he was in the closet until the day he died.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of Hollywood stars that everyone knew they were homosexual, but they did not come out of the closet. They went to an award show. They had a female on their arm. So I seen it bloom in our community, and started to see it trickle through the television and through the news. So of course, by the 80s and 90s, it was wide open, and people were coming out, by the droves. Ellen DeGeneres came out on her live show, and Rosie O'Donnell came out. So you could just begin to count the people that were coming out, making this seem like it was normal behavior.
Yeah, that's the agenda.
They forced you to think that this was normal behavior, when innately you knew that this was not right. Because we as Bantus, we have a righteous knowing when something is right and something is wrong.
That's right. That's right, family. So it's right. They're ramping it up. In the 70s, they used the disco, right? The disco. Were you ever into clubbing, Mama?
I never clubbed. I was a good little church-going wife.
Uh-huh.
My husband didn't he didn't see it necessary for me to go out in the world, because he said to me, you were raised in a sheltered life. That's what makes you set apart. But I'm gonna hang out with my brother and his boys, and we're going up to the club, and they would always come back. So I never had any interest to go see what they were doing or go to the clubs. All of the women that I knew, we were doing the same thing. We were taking care of our homes. We were taking care of our children. We were at the PTA meetings. We were in sewing clubs, reading book clubs. So that part of the world, I was never attracted to.
Did you ever?
But of course, my brothers and sisters were. My homosexual brother. I'm not going to call him a homosexual brother. He wanted me to call him her, but I refused to. I said, well, I can't just start calling you her. You're my brother. Okay, he let it go. He said, but you embarrass me when I'm with my friends and I'm dressed up, with this nice dress on, and you call me him. Anybody say, where's he at? Where's he at? You stop saying here, where's he at? You have to say, where's she at? Oh, well, I can't do it. But anyway, back to the disco. He was one of those disco organizers. My brother was very smart, very sharp, very handsome. And he had art galleries. He had nightclubs up in San Francisco. That was the disco, the lights, crowds. So he was in that world, and I heard about that world through him. And he would tell me, oh, let me tell you what happened. This and this happened, that happened. But I was never a part of it. But I had brothers and sisters that was a part of the disco and the nightclub scene.
Yeah. So did you ever had an opportunity to go clubbing?
Well, I'll tell you a small story. I think I was 29 years old, and someone was having a birthday party at the local nightclub. And my husband, it was one of my husband's mentors. So he was an older gentleman. And so he said, we're going to go. It's, I can't even remember the man's name. I was still in my 20s. I was in my own little world. I didn't really care about the world. Care about my home, my children, sewing, writing. That was my world. And so when I went there, the music, of course, was playing. We danced, we did the cha-cha, we danced. But as the evening progressed on forward, people started getting loud and rambunctious, and the alcohol breath was in your face. And oh, so you're so-and-so's wife. How you doing? I told my son, so this is having fun? This is what you call having fun? I don't like it.
You told who did you tell?
My husband.
Oh, say.
and he started laughing. I said, so this is what you come to on the weekends to have fun. And this is fun to you? All this alcohol, people smelling up. Okay, now the girls are jumping up on the table. Dancing on the table. The boys are short-tempered, so they're pushing each other.
Yeah.
but the drinks are still going and flowing. And my husband liked rum. His friend liked scotch. Well, I had never tasted a strong drink, never.
Mm.
I smelt it, and that was enough for me. So my husband said, I'm gonna." We were babies. He said, I'm gonna order you a real light drink. Then
Mm.
just sip it now. Don't drink it fast because you're not a drinker and it will hit you too hard. So
Mm.
he ordered a Shirley Temple
Oh,
for
wow.
me.
Mm. I
So
never.
I was sitting. You don't know Shirley Temple?
No, I never. I was never. I used to work. I used to work in the wine and spirits industry, but I've never been a big drinker.
Oh,
Yeah.
So Shirley Temple is V8 juice, lemon,
Mm.
and vodka. I do
Mm.
believe it's vodka they put in there, a shot of vodka. But he told the guy, "Give me a Shirley Temple for her aversion." So that means no vodka.
Mm. Yeah. Wow. Exactly. Don't no. Yeah. Don't no alcohol. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no alcohol, no alcohol, no alcohol. And I took a sip of his, I think it was rum, and I was like, "This is awful. This is
Right.
terrible. This is nice." He said, "Because you, it's not your world,
Exactly.
so it's foreign to you." So we of course stayed. They had a good time. I was just sitting in the corner like a little silly bookworm that I
Mm.
am. I'm a computer geek, and I was a computer geek at a very young age.
Mm.
But when we went home the next day, of course it was Saturday, and we got up Sunday, and we discussed and talked about it, how you enjoyed the night,
Mm.
and did you have fun and all this and things like that. He asked me, and I said, I think I will stay out of that scene. I said I didn't like the scene because the music is nice, and him and I both like to dance, and we danced a lot. But I
Mm.
said people get so disrespectful and wild as the night goes. He said, "Yeah, because the alcohol's talking now."
Exactly. 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 I'm happy because my dad was very, very strict with me and my brothers. I remember, girls would call my house in the evening time. My father would say, and then your parents allow you to call a boy at this time, So it's like I would get those calls. Yeah, I started clubbing when I got into college. That's when I really got, into
Oh yeah,
clubbing.
you were rather up there in age, out on your own.
Exactly. But by that time, and it's good. See, this is why it's good to start late in life. Is that at that time when you go the first time you go to the club, oh, this is great. The second time, oh, this is great. The third time, it's like, yeah, it's the same thing. You know what I mean? It's like the allure starts to kind of like wean off, right? Because like you said, it's loud. It's a lot of cigarette, right? Back in the days, people smoked crazy inside there. The music is
Everybody
loud,
smoke, yeah.
right? And then there's always there's gonna be a fight. Especially when I was clubbing, it was upstate New York. It wasn't like,
Uh,
and that wasn't like in the in but later on, like I said, even later in life, I was able to go to some of the clubs. But by that time, my inhibitions, as far as clubbing, is way different from a young person. The ideas, it's not the same. So clubbing for me, you're right, it's not the same. But I recognize something though. Okay, in clubbing, in order for you to have fun, you gotta be doing some kind of drug. Okay, you gotta be high some way, right? In order for you to accept that environment, you gotta be out of yourself.
yes, you do. And and that was one of the discussions that I had with my husband. I said,
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to explain to him, I said I took a couple of sips of your rum, and it
Mm-hmm.
kind of pulled me out of myself, and I didn't like my spirit being separated.
Mm.
It took me. I tried to explain to me, alcohol takes you out of your natural state.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't. That's why I didn't want to do with alcohol. marijuana or whatever else all of our friends was doing. I didn't want my spirit to be altered. And I'm a
Mm.
young girl saying this.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want my spirit to be altered, because if you're drinking alcohol, then that's why it's called the spirit.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I worked in.
Alcohol is called the spirit because
Mm-hmm.
it alters your spirit.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I worked in the industry, mama. I worked in the industry. I worked in the industry. You know, I was more.
So you know what I'm trying to say. You
I
know what I'm
know.
trying to say.
I know what you're saying, man. I know what you're saying. You know, my focus was more on the wine industry, as opposed to spirits. I did some spirits, some events in spirits, but primarily in the wine. You know, um, and even that, you know, you drink enough, obviously, because people when they drink wine, they drink it. See, a wine connoisseur is someone who does not drink too much of it. In America, that's not it.
Oh, I see.
Okay. When you're a wine connoisseur, what you're doing is you're getting the characteristic of the wine, the earth, the texture. You're learning, you're building your palate. Wine is a perfect way to
Oh,
develop your palate. Okay. But it cannot be consumed as if you're consuming a large amount, like you're drinking water. Okay. So there's so in that industry, there's sophistication to it. It was an etiquette when it comes to quote unquote consuming wine, right? But Americans, a lot of the wine producers, like in France and Europe, you know, when they brought their wines in the States, they didn't they want to sell their wines, but they didn't want the culture of wine consumptions to go away, because Europeans had a way to drink wine, way different from the way Americans consume wine. Okay, the
I
Europe,
believe it.
even
I
though
believe it. I believe it.
yeah, you know, even though the Europeans, you know, it was a different in the US. I know I'm kind of like going away, but it's gonna all connect. It's gonna connect. Don't worry, family. It seems like we're getting away, but trust me, we're not gonna go away from the topic. But there was a process. There was an order. There was an etiquette. There was a culture, right? Wine consumption at one particular time was only for the high society. Regular people who didn't drink wine. The common man didn't have
Ah,
wine.
I see.
You understand?
Oh.
It was for the
Hmm.
elite. Yeah. So there was a culture. There was an etiquette to it. All right. So later on, you know, they started allowing society, and they started allowing, you know, anyone to consume it. But initially, in the beginning, no, not everyone. Not it wasn't open to everyone. You know. Um, but what I'm saying, the reason I'm saying is that, but even with wine, when you get drunk, yes, you're gonna be beside yourself. You're gonna act out of place. Then you won't be embraced by your, you know, but they'll call you a drunkard. You know, you know what I mean. Within the society, that wasn't allowed. You know, it was to consume, because it was, you know, it was for the what's called it? What do you call them again? The
Aristocrats.
aristocrats. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, but when Europe, you know, wine was becoming very big in here in the States in the 90s, when Yellowtail was being promoted. Okay, when Yellowtail was being promoted is when the Yellowtail wines campaign brought it to a whole different level here in America. This is where people start to drink wine at a high level, at a high consumption, right?
Oh, I see.
Right,
Oh.
and then now around that time, between the 70s and the 60s and the 70s, the old wine world, because there's a term, there's old war, there's in the wine industry, there's a old they call it the old world of the old world wines and the new world wines. Okay, and it's all in the methods how wine is produced, because
Oh, I see.
the children of those winemakers, they started realizing, no, I want to make wine for the common, for everybody to drink, right? And the
Oh.
old world winemakers, they made wine for for it to age and for it to be the value of it, the process and the aging process was very, very important. But the new,
Like for special occasions, just for special occasions.
yes, for it was exclusively for those who can afford it.
Okay, the elite,
Yeah, the elite. Yes, and then for those who cannot afford, you couldn't. This is why you couldn't drink it. That's why it wasn't open to everyone, right? Because you didn't have the money. You didn't have. You had to be in a certain class in order for you to enjoy those beverages.
Got it.
Yeah. But
so by the time the my generation in the nightclubs was in the disco was the common thing. Now alcohol consumption now becomes available for the common man.
Yes.
Which is not only mind altering, but spiritual altering.
Yes. Disorder in play.
Take us out of order. Take us out of order. Okay.
Yes, there's an agenda. There's a huge agenda going on here. Yes. So basically, in the clubs, this is one of the instrument that was used. Okay, so you mix that with a certain lifestyle, then you understand, right, Mama? So what I'm saying is that the sexual revolution was what, in the 60s and 70s, right?
Yes, in the 70s. Yeah, in the 70s.
Right, and then disco came around time, late 70s, right?
Late 70s, yes, late 70s, And mid 70s, because my oldest son was 4 years old, and that's when my brother had his grand opening disco club in San Francisco, 74.
Yes. So there was always homosexuality around, right? But I think,
it's an ancient demonic entity.
Ancient practice, yeah.
Practice, yeah.
But ancient. I think, yeah. Say it again, Mama. Say it again.
I said it, and homosexuality is an ancient Roman practice.
You hit on the nail, Mama. The key word, Roman.
Ancient Roman practice, and it's funny. It's funny to me. They had a parade yesterday somewhere in the country, for the LGBT SOB. Oh, that's a good one. So what they had is bouncing around was the pictures of the white Jesus, and I'm thinking to myself, well, that's perfect.
Yes, exactly.
Because your agenda coincide with the picture of the white Jesus, who is Caesar Borgia, and Caesar Borgia was a homosexual son of a pope in the 600s. So you're standing and bouncing his picture, and he stood for homosexuality. He hangs in every church, Catholic Church, Protestant Church, Baptist Church, every church. They have a picture of a homosexual white man as their God, their Lord, their Savior, their Holy Spirit, everything rolled into one. A picture of a homosexual man.
Most Christians don't know that, Mama.
They don't know it. They know it when I tell them. And I've told hundreds of them because when I'm out on the streets, I don't just talk. I have flyers, I have documents, I have stories that I can hand out that they can go research and read for themselves. Don't take my word for it. I'm telling you this because you're unaware, like I was unaware. But
Mm.
homosexuality has been an agenda on this earth since the white man showed up 6,000 years ago.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, man. This is a battle that's being ongoing. It's ongoing, you know. So it's, I think, through the sexual revolution, you know, the what do you call it again? The where they get together at in upstate New York. They call it the where the musicians will come and they will perform for weeks, for like maybe a week or two. What do you call it again? It's on the top of my tongue.
No,
Stuck.
well, keep talking. It'll come. Keep
It,
talking. It'll come.
it's called
It'll
stuck.
come. So
It's
so now the conversation is
mm,
we're watching how homosexuality gained
mm,
its hold in our society.
yes, yes, definitely. Through
Because you said something that it is running rampant in our community.
mm-hmm,
It's running rampant in our community in Los Angeles. You said New York, in Los Angeles, in San
yes,
Diego,
mm-hmm,
in Atlanta, Georgia, in every church. I grew up with homosexual people almost running the church.
yeah,
At least the music department. So
yeah,
so now it has grabbed a hold of our society in a way that um, the spirits and the demonic activity of the homosexual agenda is running rampant. And they're getting bolder and bolder. There was some homosexuals yesterday that was on the news saying, we're going to leave this country and go somewhere where homosexuality is better received in America.
mm-hmm,
Because America, even though America has a homosexual agenda, there's a lot of Americans pushing back.
yeah. I mean, Mama, you'd be surprised. Even some homosexuals, they don't like that they're being used. That's what people don't understand.
As they're being used for the propaganda. I get it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So the place that I was talking about is called Woodstock. Woodstock, Ma.
Oh
Woodstock.
yeah, we know Woodstock.
Yeah, you know.
Woodstock is where the sexual revolution and the marijuana started.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. And
Free,
then
free, free love for all.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. So Woodstock, and then they
The,
started.
the, 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 the Roman culture of everyone sleeps with everybody. You can sleep with your sister, you can sleep with your brother's girlfriend, you could just have an orgy. An
Mm,
orgy is an ancient Roman practice.
Greek, Mama, Greece,
Greek,
Greece.
Greek, Greek,
Yeah,
Greek, Greek practice.
yeah,
Thank you for the
Greece.
correction.
Yeah,
Greek
Greece.
practice.
Because we civilized the Greeks first. We civilized them first,
Yes, we did.
and then
Of
the
course we did. The Greeks went into Egypt, learned,
mm-hmm, yeah,
came out, and became to the world the authority. One of
yes.
my young Kenyan sons said, "Well, Mom, I thought the Greeks were smarter than us," because I was telling him about the genius, and he's asking me a serious question because this is what he's taught in school.
Yeah.
And I said, "No, son." I said, "No, son." That the Greeks, and I went to the internet and we pulled up the history of the Greeks.
Mm-hmm.
The Greeks came to Egypt in
Mm-hmm.
Africa.
Mm-hmm. Come
Here's the
at.
date they were there, and they were taught by the Africans.
That's right.
He was shocked. Now he's 35 years old. He's a
Mm,
university graduate. He has a thriving business here in Kenya.
mm,
Very smart, very sharp man. But
mm,
what he was taught is what he believed, that the Greeks are the
mm.
first for everything. He
Yeah.
said, Mom, but I thought the Greeks were smarter than us.
Mm. Wow. Mm.
Honest question, honest
Yeah.
statement. This is what he was taught.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
You
with
know.
with the Greeks stealing everything from us, it came with it their dysfunction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They were even though they came to learn from us, they came to learn. Listen, we didn't teach them those degenerate behaviors. Okay. They were, if when it came to sexuality, they believed some of the net. I can't even repeat it here, Mama. Okay. This is not we got kids who listen to this here as well. So
This is
there's
this is not a platform, but the Greek came to Africa
mm-hmm,
to learn, and I was telling my son, the Greeks came to learn science,
mm-hmm, yes,
math,
mm-hmm,
astrology,
yeah, yes,
and to like.
yeah,
Well, once they learned it, Socrates now, everyone thinks Socrates is white because
yeah,
the picture, the statue that I found online of Socrates, they broke his nose off.
mm, mm,
So the next picture you see of Socrates online is a white man with a pointy nose.
yeah. Well, it's
When
like
the original Socrates was a black man.
mm, yeah, Mama, in the whatever the agenda was, but Socrates was a white man, and Socrates did give black people credit. Whatever the agenda that they have out there, Mama, whatever they have out there to deceive people, Socrates was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
a
He gave him credit, but let me tell you
yeah,
something. My 17-year-old grandson
mm,
sees Socrates as the beginner and the smartest man, and Socrates is it that he understands no history that was
mm,
taught by the African,
yeah,
and he's 17 years old.
right, yeah.
So we
So
all know that our history was not only stolen but whitewashed.
what? Yeah,
That all
definitely.
the greatest men now in the world are white.
Yeah,
White statues of them, white Roman statues, white, white, white. So you're absolutely right. They came to be taught by us, but they
mm,
also turned around in betrayal and put their name on it. It's like plagiarism. Put their name on the documents. Put their name on the discovery. Put their name on the math and science.
well, Mama.
So
Here's the thing. A lot of those who came to Africa, they this is how we know that uh, um, that the their people were the perpetrators in whitewashing our history, because those who came, like Socrates himself, he wrote many accounts giving credit to our scholars. Okay, the great Imhotep. Right, so Socrates, the Europeans are the ones who made Socrates as the first, the founder of medicine.
of course,
Okay,
of course, of
so
course,
so
of course.
the perpetrator is speaking of them. Meanwhile, if you did a little digging, you'll find that Socrates did give credit to the African. Okay, so our and then later on we have our own scholars, and this is where I want our people to start to use our scholars who prove the Europeans wrong. We have to start using their work to reference the lies instead of using whites you understand what I'm saying, right? I don't want to use Socrates. Socrates already gave attribution to the African. Already give credit to the African. Their people are the ones who changed the books, okay, to deceive the rest of the world. All right, so it's
I get it.
yeah, it's very, very important for us, for our people, especially the young people, especially most of our teachers, start to use our scholars who proved to the Europeans, and this is not too long ago. This was in the 40s and 50s. Okay, that's a whole different topic, Mama. That's a whole different topic. All right, but whenever you
Yeah.
speak to a European, what you want to do is this: because they do it everywhere. They do it in the medical industry. They do it in the science field. They do it in the entertainment. They do it every industry you can think about. They do it. They always refer to the Greeks. Okay, so
Yes.
whenever a European refers to you, brings you to the Greeks did this, such and such and such, you ask that person, you ask that European, so where did the Greeks get it? Where did the Greeks get it from? Where did the Greeks get their knowledge from? Okay? So this is where you're gonna see now when you ask them that question, they're gonna either do two things. They're gonna play ignorant or they're gonna confess. Okay? They'll do two things. Two things they'll do. They're either gonna play ignorant and they'll say, you know what, you're right. All right? And you gotta stick it to them whenever they come to you lying. Because that's what they love doing, that, to lie. All right?
Yeah.
But yes.
They love plagiarism. They like doctoring documents.
Yes. Yes.
They will doctor it to put their self. But back to the subject. So those are the years that I started to see the change in our society and our community as gay rights begin to rise and people start coming out of the closet. Now it's not only creeping into our community, but now we see it on television. It's normalized on television. It's normalized on TV. So what really is the agenda of the homosexuality? And Baba Mungu tells us that it's an abomination that a man lays with a man. It's even an abomination that a man dress in women's clothing and women dress in men's clothing.
Yes, because that's an energy. Because if you think about it, what is man? What is woman? Right? We carry a certain essence. We carry a certain energy as a male.
Yeah.
A male being has a certain frequency that he produces, and a feminine energy produces a certain frequency. Okay, that's distinguishable. Okay, there's no confusion here.
Good answer.
Okay.
That's good. That's a good answer. That's clear, precise, understandable, and correct. Yes. We have different energies.
Yes. So let's look today.
So now, are you saying that each energy works off each other?
Yes. You can't have one without the other. Right? You can't have one without the other. In fact, in order for you to have peace, equilibrium, to have balance, there has to be a feminine and masculine energy in one. Right? This is why the Father says, this is why a man has to leave his father's house and be united with the woman, with his wife.
Cleave.
Yes.
It's a whole different word than unite. Cleave.
Yes.
Cleave is coming together as one spirit, one flesh.
Yes. Yes. And when those two energies come together, then they create a certain environment and energy that will bring forth children. Okay? That will bring forth children. Yes. That will bring forth a certain energy. All right, and that's when you have peace. When they are in union, when there is peace between the masculine energy and the feminine energy, the only thing that can come forth is children. You understand?
I love it.
But I love it. Anything else is a disorder, an imbalance, destruction. Okay? And it does not glorify, it does not edify the Father. It's pure wickedness. All right. Now I love people. We were designed to love. I was designed by the Father to love. So I know people who were gay. Okay. But if you dig deep in their life, if you look very, very deep, they can be the nicest person. Okay. They can be the kindest person, but they do not have peace.
They don't. I know. I talk to them. Well, I used to talk to them. I don't talk to them so much, but I used to talk to my brother, my gay brother, his friends, my gay female friends about the trauma that they went through as young children, sometime being raped by an uncle or mistreated by a woman, and it's a trauma that one they never get over. And one of my friends said, I will never be with a man because of what a man did to me from age 5 to age 10.
Disorder. Yeah,
So
scars.
she, so, so he brought something on her that
Mm,
no one ever helped her to get through. She had to
mm,
hide it, she had to stuff it, and so now she has, which is quite naturally, a distaste for a normal relationship.
mm. Well,
And the lady that she's with, the same type of thing happened to her. They both
mm-hmm,
have a distaste for the original relationship between a man and a woman.
mm-hmm. Yes. So,
And same with my brother. My brother was groomed by homosexual men we didn't know when
mm.
he was 11, 12 years old.